Today, it's all about Michail Antonio. Well, this video is it's not Michail Antonio Day. It's International Day of Michail Antonio. He's not quite that good yet, but this video is all about him. But you knew that anyway because you saw the wonderful thumbnail by Canning Town Len, who incidentally, by the way, has sent me a package. It says "Do not bend on it." I've not bent it. The postman may have bent it. I'm going to be opening that, seeing what's in it, sharing it with you. Well, I'm not chopping it up and sharing it individually with everybody who watches this video. I'm just saying I will share the experience of opening the Canning Town Len package with you lot. We may drift on to a bit of Sebastian Haller just while we're talking about Michail Antonio. There's a dog. There's a dog who looks like he might be the best football fan in the world. In fact, I'll show you the dog now.
Palla tagliata, messa fuori, c'è Pirlo, Pirlo, ancora Pirlo di tetto, tiro,
Lovely, lovely dog. What a beautiful, beautiful dog. Is all I can say about that one. Anyway, look, Michail Antonio. I was really, really worried when he got hacked down against Brentford. To such an extent, I didn't realise how important he'd become to West Ham United. When he was hacked down, I thought, and that's it. And you saw him struggling. He was limping around. You thought he's going to have to go off here. And he did go off. I thought, well, that's it. We're screwed. Now, Antonio has always been an important player to West Ham. He's always been somebody that can do a job, that will score goals, will play in numerous positions. But he's never really been the main man. It was always somebody else, wasn't it? Let's be perfectly honest. But I do feel that after football resumed, after the lockdown, Michail Antonio became the main man. In fact, Michail Antonio became one of the best players in the Premier League. I'm not being silly. I don't think I'm exaggerating there. In fact, I spoke to somebody on the phone today. I was just ordering something online, and he could tell from my email address. He said, "Oh, I can see from your email address you're a West Ham fan." I said, "Yeah, I am." And he said, "Oh, he was Aston Villa fan." And he said, "Oh, yeah, we were lucky. We were lucky in the end, weren't we?" He said, "But Michail Antonio, he's really good and he played really well for you." So it just shows that there's a perception outside of West Ham that we have a really, really good player here. And whilst we might be unlucky in as much as his age is going against him, maybe we've only got 2-3 years of prime, top-notch Michail Antonio, it probably works in our benefit. Because I was actually thinking about this, and I thought if Michail Antonio was 25, we wouldn't have a chance of keeping him. He would be off to somewhere else. And as I seem to be saying increasingly more recently, I think we're all guilty of looking at what players can't do rather than what they can do. And what Michail Antonio can do is plenty. And I also feel that his technique is getting better. Because he was quite a late starter. In fact, I'd love to get an interview with Michail Antonio and actually just talk about his days at Tooting and coming up through that level and coming up through non-league level and that sort of thing. Because I do think it gives all those players a hunger. But I also feel that whilst other players that might have spent all their lives in Premier League academies, have spent all their time practicing their technique and practicing this, that, and the other, players like Antonio have had to go off and get a job and just do other things, just basically live their lives. They've not had as much practice, basically, as a lot of these other players. And the more Antonio plays, just the better he gets. And you may well find there's a bit of a Jamie Vardy scenario with him where he just keeps on getting better and he actually burns out quite late in his career. But he's an absolutely fantastic player. And the point of the matter is he's not injured. He's had a bit of a knock, a bump and a bruise, but he's all right. And this is key. Because I think, as I mentioned earlier, I think without him we're screwed. And I noticed the more I look at it, the more it does look like Declan Rice is injured. And if we start the start of our season is pivotal. Declan Rice is our hammer of the year. Rightly so. Either him or Ogbonna. Take your pick. But I do think if Antonio would have played with the intensity, with the performance levels, with the vigour that he displayed towards the end of the season, then Michail Antonio would probably have won Hammer of the Year. I don't think there's that much doubt about it. And whilst we do have important players, we mentioned Souček, we mentioned Bowen, Ogbonna, obviously I've already mentioned, Declan Rice and Antonio are about as important as it gets. And actually, I'm not thrilled at the prospect of what our midfield composition might be for the first game of the season without Declan Rice. There's rumours that he might miss the England game as well. That's a worry. But if we were to do that without Michail Antonio as well, it ain't going to be good. If we're going to do anything this season at all, Michail Antonio will be pivotal. Absolutely pivotal to it. So we need him. The fact that he's not injured is very, very good news. Rice, less so. I'm totally nervous about the situation. I really am now. Not the foot injury. Foot injury should recover relatively quickly. Far from ideal in missing our first game and missing the friendlies as well and missing the England. Well, I couldn't. Look, I'm an England fan, but in all honesty, the selfish person in me, I'd rather he was fit for West Ham than England. I don't really care if he misses the England game. Really, missing the first game against Newcastle, that's gonna be a tough one. It's, as somebody said to me, trust West Ham to have a must-win game in the first game of the season. But Michail Antonio looks to be all right. That's good news. Right, let's have a look. Let's have a look what Canning Town Len has sent. You should be getting the full experience because right next to the muff is right there. You should be getting the full rip. You should be getting, that should be like Dolby surround sound. Da, 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 da. I don't know why I'm doing the striptease. There it is. Right. Let me tell you. Oh, hold on. Little note there for me and Gio. Private, sexy note. I think fair to say from Canning Town Len. Right, what this is, as everybody's seen, everybody's second team. You should have done it. Canning Town Len film. It's out on Amazon. You can watch it on his website. It's from the Canning Town Len studio, and it's actually a picture of Paul Allen being hacked down by Willie Young. Now, it's got a certificate of authenticity on the back, and I'm actually going to be, it's beautifully framed, embossed at the bottom, by the way. I'm going to be giving this away to one of our patrons anyway, but you don't let that put you off. You can get one of these. These are all individual. They're all unique. So basically, each scene from the film, like this.
Yeah, Ollie's 17 years of age, done great, nutmegged Willie Young, and then he got his legs taken away.
You know, there's not many managers who had the bottle to do that, to put a 17-year-old kid in the cup final.
So if you haven't seen the documentary, Everybody's Second Team, please go along and do so. It's available. You can watch it for free, right? Go to canningtownlen.com. All the details are there, but it's available to watch on Amazon and other formats. Basically, every scene is exclusive. So this is a print from that. Some of them are getting signed by David. No, batch has gone up to David Cross. Parks is signing some. He's going to be giving some of them away. You can buy them on the website. But actually, what I think is one of the best things that Len organises or does is the ability for you to have yourself caricatured. Now, when you do that, you appear in Canning Town Len productions that he has going forward. So basically, you will appear in a crowd scene. I'll show you what I mean. So we got a clip here of Thomas Souček heading the ball in, bang, like that, at the back post, and then there's a crowd scene. All the crowd are actually, they're you. They're basically you. They're people that have commissioned a portrait, a caricature from Canning Town Len, and they appear in a crowd scene, like this. So I said to Len, give us an example. Randomly select a handsome West Ham fan. Just randomly select one and put them in front of a couple of West Ham landmarks like Nathan's and things like that, so as people get an idea of what they get when they order a Canning Town Len portrait. I just bang me muff. Excuse me. I've got a nasty habit of doing that, don't I? And this is what you get. Now, I think you can choose, just go onto the website, you can choose your landmark, you can choose this, you can choose what you want, maybe you and a loved one. There's all sort of options, but I do, you get a nice caricature, you get a nice piece of artwork anyway, whether it's from the film or whether it's a picture of you. But I really like the idea that you get to feature in one of these productions. And Canning Town Len does have another project, Say No More, in the off. I did say more, didn't I? In the offing. So if you'd like to feature in anything going forward with Canning Town Len, who's doing some remarkable stuff, canningtownlen.com, which is the Canning Town Len studio. Keep your eye open. There'll be freebies and all sorts of things happening. This one is going to one of the patrons. I would get Canning Town Len himself to sign it, but I think he might bring the value of it down. We don't want Len scribbling all over it. And let's be fair, he can't really draw, can he? Right, listen, we've got a lot going on. Tomorrow, I really want to get into this left back and full back situation. It's something that's worrying me, and the closer it gets to the start of the season, the more I'm starting to get a bit squeaky bum that we haven't signed anybody yet. It seems to be a bit of an issue here, and something that needs sorting relatively easy. I discussed Duffy yesterday, and I meant everything I said. That does look like that's happening at the moment. Today I went on Claret and Hugh today, and today there's an article on Claret and Hugh where he's looking at what our team might be at the start of next season for the first game against Newcastle. I know I've discussed Declan Rice, I've discussed Michail Antonio already in this video. That ain't good enough. We can't have that as our first team to start off. It just ain't going to cut it. It really ain't. We need to get something in. Yes, it was good enough to finish last season. I understand that. But something's got to be done. We need signings. We need them now. It's time for the board to get their wallets out. Have you seen my nice wallet? Got an old West. It's got. Sorry, it's moths and all sorts in there. Nice West Ham wallet. So I bet David Sullivan's is thick. There's actually no cash in that whatsoever. So it's time for David Sullivan to get his West Ham wallet out, or his whatever wallet. I wonder if he's got a West. I wonder if he might not even have a wallet. He might be totally and utterly cashless in terms of he's got a golden card that he carries around with him. Anyway, time to get his wallet out, make some signings. We'll be discussing that tomorrow, and yeah, there you go. I will see you very, very soon.